Okay, so I'm just going to go over real quick how to remove all these seeds out of dragon fruit and to save them so you can plant them at a later date. So first you have your dragon fruit here that's already cut in half, and basically what you're going to do is you're just going to scrape little bits of it. It's kind of hard to do this holding the camera, and you'll see you get little seeds. You put them into a coffee filter. I like to use the little addition thing that you can put into coffee pots to strain it out a little bit better, and you just keep doing that. Best part about it is you can sit there and eat this in between, and it's not gonna affect your seed count because there's probably something like 8,000 or 10,000 seeds in any one dragon fruit. I usually get about 1,000 of it, and all I do is just scrape a little bit, eat some, scrape some more, that kind of thing. It's a great fruit. Like I said, it's kind of hard to do this holding the camera. But if you look in there, it's just covered in seeds. You're going to end up with a ton of seeds, and you're still going to be able to eat it, so it's a good thing. But anyway, we're going to get into the straining part. What I like to do, I use this little filter contraption, put some water in there to get all the fruit part moving around, and then you just kind of let it do its thing. I do this once, and then I get just a big bowl. Got our big bowl here, put some water in there. Yeah, this is really fun, can't you tell? I'm actually going to go ahead and speed this up because otherwise I'm going to be taking a video for a while, and I'm not very good at video editing, so I'm not going to be able to edit it out. So we'll just drop it in there. Now there's people who swear by the float test or sink test, whatever you want to call it, where you throw seeds in, and if they sink to the bottom then they're viable, and if they float at the top they're not. There's no actual scientific evidence to back up the fact that that works, but you know, for those naysayers, you can always stir it up like this, and then anything that floats at the top you just scoop out, and then you'll have your seeds that float at the bottom, and then you're just going to strain them out with a coffee filter. This is how you get all the fruit sections out, and you end up with just the actual seed. I don't care about taking some of the seeds off the top because, like I said, you're going to get thousands and thousands of seeds out of this. So if you lose a couple, it's not a huge deal. And like I said, I'm kind of speeding this up. I'm not doing the entire dragon fruit. As you can see, there's plenty of seed left in there, but we're just scooping out the top layer. Doesn't show up very well on the camera, but you can see that there's little chunks in there, and that's what we're trying to get out, because we don't want the fruit in there, because that will ferment and that'll promote bacteria, and it'll just be a bad day when you go to actually use your seeds when you open up the closet and they're covered in mold or something. And then you see down there at the bottom all those seeds that are good to go. And again, you can use a coffee filter. I like to use the little insert for those mini coffee pots. It's a great thing because then you can just dump it right in. Still got a little bit of stuff in there, but that'll come out in the later portion. All right, and then from here, we're gonna get some paper towel. Doesn't have to look pretty or anything, just has to be a stack so it absorbs some water. And we take our seed, throw it on there, and you're gonna rinse out all the stuff, and that's what you're left with. And then you go in there with your little tweezers, or you can use your hand, whatever, and you just pull the seeds apart and set them where they can get some air and dry out. And then you end up with something like this. And then you can either cut these squares out with scissors and plant the whole thing. The paper towel is not going to hurt anything, it's just going to dissolve into the soil. Or you can cut out individual sections and plant those. That's entirely up to you. Or you can take the time to sit here and pull each one of these seeds off and plant them in the soil. You just put them in the soil, add a tiny bit of soil over top, moisten them, and all the paper towel is going to do is it's going to actually wick the water into the seed, and it's going to make your life easier because it's going to ensure that the plant gets some water to it. But yeah, that's pretty much the extent of dragon fruit seed saving. Hope this helped. Bye.